Riding down the woods alone on a Halloween night. What a stupid thing to do, be alone at the scariest night of our lives. What a stupid thing to do, go on alone on a Halloween night. And now this story is told. And so a cabin right there in the woods, and he stopped to ask for some food. So the great man stops to ask some food. He looks inside of the window, because you could do that back in those days. He looks inside, and he saw the most beautiful creature God had never formed in front of him. The great man stepped into the cabinet and saw nothing. Pure darkness was surrounding him. First, he was confused, because when he looked out the window, there had been light and a beautiful woman. What was this? The great man thought. He was thinking, well, it's just darkness. Because he was a great man. He wasn't afraid of the dark. He was never afraid. All of a sudden, he heard a noise. What was that? What was that? He said to himself. He started panicking. Even though he never had been afraid, the idea of being ambushed in this little house was astonishing. There it was again. And then second, it was always coming down to him. Always getting closer. Always he was trying to think, what is this? What is this? What is this? He was trying to think, but no, it was coming closer. He was banging the door. Let me out! Let me out! All of a sudden, it stopped. He thought himself, phew, what a horror. Then he heard it. A laugh. He thought himself, where am I? What is this place? There was no terms. There was no idea of hiding it. He was afraid. For the first time in his life, he was alone, in dark. He didn't know where to go. But then, a nicer, not that sharp sound came. But when you think of it, it wasn't so nice after all. It was getting closer. Always coming up to you. He was backing down to the corner. Where am I? What is this place? Give me some answers. It got faster. All of a sudden, it stopped like the other voice. But now, not laughter. No. A scream. Scream came in to his ears. He squeezed the key he had gotten. He had the key to his house. He squeezed it in his hand and was thinking, this is not right. This is not right. This is not right. Poor man. Sitting there alone in a dark cabin. Must have been afraid. Wasn't you? Weren't you? Well, I think this is a good time for a break. I'll return in a minute. Alright. Well, shall we return to the story? So, the great man was alone in the haunted cabin. He was sure this place was haunted. There was no other explanation. All of a sudden, a little light shining to him. This light played a beautiful tone. Beauty that had never been seen before. That calmed him down. Okay, there was nothing to be afraid of. He wanted to follow the light, but he didn't know where the light would take him. Would it be a trap? But he told himself, no, nothing that beautiful could be a trap. He was calm, so he walked towards the light. He walked and walked and walked and walked. A sound. But he wasn't afraid. The light sound repelled it. He was walking to the light. The light. He grabbed the light. And it was a hand. It was a hand! What? No! He backed down slowly. And he saw creatures approaching him from where the light had been. The light had been just a trap. The creatures had hands from their eyes. They were made out of pure shadows. And they were screaming, I want your blood. And when they stepped, it made a sound. He tried to run, but they were getting faster. These creatures, he couldn't understand them. Nothing with human mind could understand them. They were shadows, torn souls, torn from their owners. Eyes coming out of, hands coming out of their eyes. No man should be like that, no! They were controlled by something. He tried to run. All of a sudden, a little noise. A hatchet had been opened. He didn't know where. To the shadowy creatures, or to the little Hope. Well, he chose the Hope. He jumped down a hole full of light, and he stepped there. He woke up. He didn't know how many hours that he was sleeping. He had no idea. Only thing he knew. He woke up in the middle of cave of tortured souls, and right before him was a woman with no face. Her eyes were fiery red and full of soulness and evil. Her blue skin shined in a cave of darkness. This had been another trap too. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to expect. This woman said with an old voice, even though a young body, but an old voice. You have come here, my traveler. Why won't you come and enjoy our tea? The tea. What tea? Then he saw it. Tortured, the souls took their bodies and drowned their blood to the tea. He was saying, no, this can't be, this can't be. What's the matter, my son? Don't you like my tea? Well, you know what we do to those who don't like my tea. And he saw the soul starting to approach him. They weren't stopping until he saw it. A soul separated from the others, walking its own path with lighter steps. He didn't know what to think about it. This one didn't have eyes. I mean, this one didn't have hands coming out of its eyes. It wasn't like all the others. And then the great man saw the body which soul belonged. It was color. The color of the hair was a mix of red and brown. It was curly, so beautiful. It didn't cover up the forehead, and it was separated from the others. Her eyes. They were like two shining diamonds, but still dead. All of a sudden, he didn't realize what this was. He had always loved people, but not like this. His stomach. He didn't know what to do. This was the girl he had sawn. All of a sudden, our great man felt anger to the evil witch. He felt angry for the girl, for all those tortured souls. No more shall you torture anyone else, you mighty, mighty bitch! He yelled, right in front of this witch's eyes. What do you say, you dear? I can't hear you from all the screaming. The souls were coming close, and they were screaming, Give us your soul! We want your soul! No. His story wouldn't end like this. He said no! He disapproved this! He looked into his right. There was a sword. He looked into his left. There was a shield. Which one would he choose? Why won't you make the decision? Choose. They are coming closer. They are catching up with you. Choose, damn it, choose! No! No!